Morning, guys. Today I want to talk about karma. I think she's out there in San Diego somewhere. Y'all remember that show? Carmen San Diego. I don't think that's how that melody line went. Karma. We've all got to deal with it at some point. Are you working through yours? Are you learning your lessons? You know, everything in our life can be tied to karma in a way. Did you know that if you grew up in a crappy childhood, an abusive childhood, that's part of your karma? Did you know that? It's actually a good thing. When you live in crappy childhood, in an abusive home, one that's out of your control, and you have to suffer and endure it, that's actually you working through the karmic lessons that you accrued from your past life. Did you learn your lessons? There's a way to tell, especially as it relates to growing up in crappy childhood. You know, there are those who grow up in crappy homes and they don't change much, do they? They just basically become a 2.0 version of their crappy mom and dads. Except for this time, you know, they've got all that anger and, you know, jadedness from their folks. Oh, and then, you know, let's add on to, you know, they're not stopping the cycle. They just do it again to the kids and the loved ones that they're around. All while complaining about their crappy childhood. Yeah, those folks did not learn their lessons. When you meet somebody that's like that, they didn't learn their karmic lessons. And it's really unfortunate, one, because, you know, they're repeating the cycle. So everyone around them gets to feel the heat. But not only that, but it just shows a waste of potential, because if you grew up in a crappy childhood, that means you probably you could have had a really good adulthood if you would have learned your lessons. But if you find yourself having just as crappy of an adulthood as your childhood, that tells you didn't learn anything at all. And I would encourage anybody who's going through anything like that to look in while you're still here, while you are still able, while you have breath. There's hope for you as long as you have breath. And then there are the others that learn. They have crappy childhood, and instead they grow up and they learn that they want to be the opposite, and they want to provide the opposite of what they were around. Instead of being in a home that was full of strife, anger, and madness, they work hard at providing a home full of love, peace, opportunity, kind words. That's how you know you learned your karmic lessons. When you're able to transmute what you grew up in, that energy that was around you your whole life, and then you turn it into the opposite. You invert it. For good. That's how you know you learned your lesson on that karmic cycle, on that one. Yeah.